Hey guys, how's it going? Dingsy Boy here, and I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be telling you my story of the day I met Duncan Ferguson. Growing up, Duncan Ferguson was my absolute idol. He was my childhood favourite. Now, I've just managed to pick up this book right here, Big Dunc. This is the book that my missus got me for my birthday. Already I'm a few chapters in, and I am completely engrossed with his storytelling and his life. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to be telling you my personal experience of the day that I met Duncan Ferguson. So this is going back a few years ago when Everton were going to be playing against Cardiff City at the City Stadium. This was going to be on a Tuesday or Wednesday. They were all staying at the St David's Hotel in Cardiff. A few friends of mine decided that they were going to go and collect some autographs, and I thought I'd tag along with them, being an Everton fan and also a bit of an avid autograph collector, which still is to this day. I still do that. And I went to the hotel and we went into the dining room area. I was looking around the room and there he was, Big Dunc himself, and I was completely in awe of this man. This was my childhood hero who I grew up idolizing, watching the games on Sky Sports, on BBC One, or sometimes on Match of the Day. I made my way up to Big Dunc and he noticed me. He stood up and he shook my hand, and my God, no wonder why they called him Big Dunc. He was an absolute unit. I mean, standing at 6'4", no wonder why they called him Big Dunc. But we got chatting. He signed my Everton shirt that I had from 1998. We got chatting about Everton. We got chatting about, why I supported Everton. And obviously I mentioned Barrytown as well. It was a really lovely chat. He was very generous. He was always asking about me, not me asking about him. He was intrigued about me as a person. And it was absolutely wonderful. So we shook hands, and this was the picture that we had together. And I made my own way to meet other players. But then my mate said to me, "Reese, your dad's an Everton fan. Why don't you just get him to call your dad or do a video message or something like that?" But to be honest with you, I don't like doing that sort of thing. I don't like to ask people to do certain things, do a video record or, phone up, one of my relatives, because maybe they don't feel comfortable doing that. I mean, every time I've seen people do that sort of things, you can tell that people are very uncomfortable to oblige or whatever. I'd rather have a photo or an autograph and then just leave him alone. But you know what, I just figured, what's the worst thing he could do? He could just say no, and that would be it. Not a problem. I went back over, he stood up, and we got chatting, and I said, "Look, I hate to ask this, but my dad's an Everton fan," and before I can even ask him, he said to me, "Get him on the phone right now." And I was just absolutely blown away. So I dialed my dad's number. I gave him my phone, and he said to me, "Oh, what's your dad's name?" And I said, "Oh, it's Dennis." And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." And my dad said to me that when he answered, he had a funny feeling it was going to be Duncan Ferguson. Because before then, when I told my dad I was going to go to the hotel, he said to me, "Oh, if you can get him on the phone for me, that would be brilliant." And I just laughed it off. I thought he was just taking the mickey. But then my dad said, "Oh, what's happening, Dunk?" And that was it then. The two of them had a lovely 10 to 15 minute conversation about Everton, about how Everton meant so much to my dad. And he was just, he took the time. That's the reason why I wanted to tell you this story. He took the time to do this, and he didn't need to. I thought it was absolutely wonderful and so generous of him to do that. And it meant the world to me, because it mattered more to my dad than it did to me, because my dad's the Everton fan, not me. I mean, yeah, I follow Everton, and you could say I'm a fan. I've been to Goodison Park. I've watched a handful of Everton games, but my dad he bleeds the colour blue. He bleeds Everton. He loves Everton with all his heart. So for Duncan Ferguson to do that, it just meant the world to me. And I have a video of it right here. As you can see, he's on the phone to my dad, and there's me just standing there, just absolutely taking it all in and just loving life. After he got off the phone to my dad, he gave my phone back, he shook my hand, and he said, that was really incredible. And I thanked him so much. He was like, "Reese, not a problem." And I went off on my own way to meet other players. So I met the then manager Marco Silva. I met Seamus Coleman. I met Yerry Mina, Jordan Pickford, Andre Gomez. I met most of the Everton players, and it was incredible for me to experience that. Before I was set to leave the hotel, I just really wanted to say, thank you to Duncan Ferguson for doing that, just to make sure, I wasn't being selfish or greedy. So I went back into the dining room area, and he was sat with the coaches, and I just put my hand up to him. I was like, yeah, well, Reece, what can I do for you? And I said, look, Duncan, I just want to say thank you so much for doing that for my dad. That meant the world to me, and it meant the world to my dad. And he was like, Reece, not a problem. And we got chatting again, and he said, you're going to go to the Everton game? Problem is, I wasn't. Originally, I wasn't going to go to the Everton game. And he was like, why not? How come you're not going? And I said to him, look, my auntie and my dad, they're going. My auntie bought tickets for the pair of them. They're going to go in, sit in the Ninian stand. But me, I can't. And he went, no problem. And he went into his back pocket, and he pulled out a bunch of Everton tickets, and he went, how many do you want? And I just could not believe what was happening. I just thought, what do I say? Do I say 5? Do I say whatever? But no, 2 is a reasonable number. I was like, oh, 2 please. I just could not believe it. And he gave me tickets for free. For free tickets to go and watch Everton play against Cardiff in the City Stadium. I was just lost for words by it. So you can imagine, my childhood hero is giving me tickets to go and watch the game, and I'm leaving the hotel absolutely over the moon. And you better believe I was on the phone to my dad telling him that we've got free tickets to go and watch Everton play, and he was like, no way. And we were in the away section for that game. Sadly though, for my auntie, she was left on her own in the Ninian stand, whereas me and dad were just bouncing in the away section. I just could not believe it. Yeah, it was just, I remember just being in that away section with my dad and just seeing my dad's face just light up. I'm lost for words by it, because I don't know how to describe that moment, because it was just mind-boggling, because you wouldn't expect something like that from any footballer, whether it be a legend or not. Coming from Duncan Ferguson, that meant the entire world to me and my dad, well, to the entire Dean's family. Probably not to my auntie, because she was left on her own and she spent tickets, good money on tickets, and one of them went to waste because her nephew took my dad, her big brother, to the away section because he got free tickets from Duncan Ferguson. That was a moment I will never ever forget. Ironically, we would eventually, both me and dad, meet Duncan Ferguson at a Comic-Con in Milton Keynes, and I don't blame him, not one, for this moment, but he didn't remember me. And keep in mind, it was like a few months apart. And he meets a lot of Everton fans as well. And we had a picture together. This is the picture we had together. And it was just a moment, an experience for me and dad to have together. It's just, again, unbelievable. So that was it, guys. That was me talking about my experience of meeting Duncan Ferguson. And if you have a story similar, please tell us in the comment section below. If you really liked the video, make sure you like, share it, and also please, guys, subscribe to the channel so I can provide more content for you like this, or reaction videos in the future. I promise to do more than just reaction videos or this particular kind of content. And make sure you follow me on TikTok as well at Deansy_boy96. And I just want to say again, thank you so much for supporting the channel by watching my videos and following me. So thank you so much, guys. I've been your host truly, Deansy Boy, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care.